Ladies and gents, folks out in YouTube land, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Wanted to make a little video today for a couple different reasons. One, I figured I should do a little shop update and talk a little bit about how I'm dealing with the coronavirus and how it's affecting the business and what's really going on with all that good stuff. And it's not a lot of fun, I'll tell you that. But another reason that I wanted to make a little video is I wanted to thank all the new subscribers we've gotten. We've gotten, I want to say, close to 1,000 new subscribers in like the last month, and I'm super stoked on that. I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. Super appreciate it. I have a ton of projects that we're trying to get to. And yeah, the coronavirus is really throwing a wrench in my program, big time. Zach, my U-Haul employee. So if you are new, I'll give you a little idea. I have a motorcycle shop here. We just opened a couple months ago. And attached to my shop, I also have a U-Haul center, and we sell propane. So cool stuff. I also sell boxes, just stuff that go with the U-Haul business. Anyways, so I normally have a guy, Zach, who works Monday through Friday doing the U-Haul stuff. He's super good at his job. He handles everything. He's great with customers and all that. So that's really normally during the week. I don't have to do too much U-Haul stuff at all. He handles it all, and that's great. But he's been staying home since like day one of this corona thing, which I get it. He doesn't want to get sick. Luckily for him, he is like 25 and healthy, so that his chances are pretty low. Anyways, so that's kind of put everything on me to take care of the U-Haul stuff. We're open 7 days a week, so he was doing Monday through Friday. I would cover on the weekends because we don't have a weekend guy. I actually hired a guy, or was in the process of hiring a guy when all this happened. The guy I was hiring was 63 years old, super cool dude. He rides, that's how I met him. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be a great fit and all that good stuff. But after just a couple hours of training one afternoon, the next day, he called me and said, hey man, I'm not feeling well. And I was like, well, stay home, don't come in. He ended up going to the doctors, and he had pneumonia, which is, I guess, associated with the corona thing big time. They tested him, his test came back negative, thankfully. But after going through that, after a week or so, we sat down and talked, and he's like, this is kind of an eye-opener. Maybe he shouldn't be around a bunch of people all the time. He's a retired guy, doesn't need to work, just wants to be something to do for a couple days a week, so it was going to work out perfect in that regard. But things happen. That's, just one of the effects of the whole corona thing. On the U-Haul side of things, it's been kind of crazy. And like I said before, we're normally open 7 days a week. Well, after weeks of working by myself 7 days a week, not to mention this year, because of opening the shop and making this giant leap and getting the vapor blasting machine and all that, I've only really taken 4 days off this year. And a couple of those days were when my child was born a couple months ago. So it's been a really, really, really crazy year, and I can't believe that we're in the middle of a global pandemic after I've worked the last decade of my life to get to this point of having my own shop. But I'm not gonna quit. We're gonna keep going. So I've had to make some decisions for the short term. They're not long-term decisions, but for the short term, we're going to 5 days a week. I just can't keep coming in 7 days a week and working. And in fact, today we're actually closed, and I'm here doing some cleaning because I'm just behind. I just can't keep up doing all this stuff myself, and with everything going on, it's not like I can really hire someone. I don't want to get rid of Zach, so when he feels safe to come back, that hopefully that'll work out in the sense that the U-Haul business will be picked back up enough too where it'll be worth it, because obviously that's been affected as well. I know there's a lot of locations that have just closed altogether. People are freaked out. My phone is ringing off the hook, which is starting to get a little bit annoying with people calling and saying, hey, I have a reservation in 2 weeks. Can I still cross the state lines? Dude, I don't know what's going on in 2 weeks, just like you don't know what's going on in 2 weeks. So that part sucks. But other than that, like I said, we're getting through it. And today I came in to catch up on some cleaning, get some organization done. If you've been watching my channel a long time, you know I kind of like things organized. It really helps out the program when it comes to getting jobs done faster and with no missing parts and smoother. So let's walk around the shop and I'll show you what I've gotten done so far and what I still need to do. Sorry, it's a little dark over here. The light went out and I have to install a new one of those. But I've totally cleaned up and thrown away a ton of garbage from the little desk area, and that way I can make sure it's all sanitized every day because I have people coming here and I don't want to get the Rona. But I got all that going on. And then on the bike side of things, gotten rid of some stuff, finished some stuff. The Bonneville, this, if you remember a few months back, we bought. I did get it running and all that good stuff, but it's on hold. I want to take all the covers off and put them in the Vapor Blaster, and we'll clean all that up and make it look brand new again. One of my buddies is trying to talk me into selling that to him, but I haven't decided yet. This bike right here belongs to a friend of mine. Well, it's a friend's, say, landlord. We call him Papa Swan. The place that they have up in the mountains here, we call a Swan Pound. So this is a KTM Supermoto. It needs a starter, and he said that he thought it was having some overheating issues. So we're gonna check the cooling system. I think these have a thermostat, so I'm sure they do. So we'll check that. Check the fan. This is something I want to jump on in the upcoming week. Tim's Suzuki RM370. This thing is badass. And we finished up the bottom end of the motor. The cylinder and new piston and all that just got finished up at the machine shop, CW Racing, over in Campbell, California. So in the next week, I'd like to get that engine back together and back in that. The bottom end is all together. This bike, I don't think I showed you guys this. This is an 81 Husqvarna CR430 I bought. And I have the tank for it right there, this really cool aluminum tank. This bike came from a local guy. He had stopped in and asked if I buy motorcycles, and I said, oh yeah, I buy a lot of motorcycles. So he said he had this sitting in his garage for the last couple decades. He was going to restore it at one point, never got to it. The engine has 120 pounds or 125 pounds of compression. I checked it. Kicks over real smooth. I bet with a little bit of work this thing would run. It has the old school Moto Plat ignition, just like that Bull Taco that we restored back in last year. And definitely would convert this over to electronic. The one thing it doesn't have, obviously, is the wheels. So the hubs are there. And these forks are actually backwards. But the hubs are there. He had taken the wheels apart and was going to have new wheels built for it. And I guess that's where he lost interest. So probably going to sell it as is. If you'd like to buy it, let me know. It's a really, really cool bike, and it's really clean. For a dirt bike, normally you'd see a lot more wear on stuff. So I don't think it's had a ton of hours. Factory Olin shocks. And then this place, Aftershocks. It's a pretty well-known suspension place in San Jose. So that's what's going on with these bikes there. Oh, another new thing is we got a lot of the pictures hung up on the wall. And this one right here, this guy right here, I'll leave it open. If you can guess who this guy is, leave it in the comments. And if you guess correct, the first, couple people that guess or whatever, or first person, I suppose, I'll send you a t-shirt. But yeah, let me know who you think that guy is. But we got Mean Gene down there, and then Old Gary, he's the night watchman. We got him up here with watching the showroom, and you know, lots of really cool old pictures from the town that I live in, Boulder Creek, from way back in the day. This picture here is really neat. So the guy who owns my building, this is his dad, and he was a factory Harley-Davidson rider way back when. So there's a couple other pictures of him too. This is another picture. That's him right there. Pretty cool. Boulder Creek used to have an airport back in the day. Now there's condos there. But yeah, this was the shop back in like '94. They had a party for the guy's dad. And then of course, got my John Penton movie poster up on the wall. John signed that to me, him and his sons. One of my prized possessions there. But yeah, my office is just a freaking mess. Cleaning that up, trying to get that in order. And then the shop, same thing, big mess. Here's the RM370 motor right there, all freshy, fresh, waiting to go together. And been working on cleaning this area up a little bit more. The Vapor Blaster, really getting the hang of using this thing and how it works and all that, but I've decided that it's going to be really beneficial to kind of make this area over here a parts washing station, because I need my parts clean before they go in this thing. Otherwise, I'll be changing the water all the time, and I don't want to do that because it's a kind of a pain in the butt. Oh yeah, the little 450X project. We're almost finished with this one. This is the one that had all the starter issues and that good stuff, and the Chinese carburetor on it. Took that piece of junk off. Put a Honda carburetor on there, so now it at least runs, but we gotta kind of fine tune it because it kind of runs like garbage. But yeah, just ran out of time, that's all. This is another project I'll be digging into in the next day or so. It's a Kawasaki Prairie 360. Just gonna do a service on this one, put a new belt. I don't do a ton of quads, but it is fun to do quads every once in a while because it makes me appreciate how much easier the bikes are, in the exception of some of the newer 4-strokes. And of course, in my home garage, I have a ton of other projects that some you guys have seen, some you haven't, some I got tucked away still to show you. But yeah, little shop update. Dealing with the corona thing really sucks, but like I said, we're gonna get through it. I'm not gonna let it put me under. We're gonna just keep pushing through, and hopefully in the next, I don't know, whenever, weeks, months, we can get back to normal and everyone will be back to work. And if you are out of work, man, sorry, that sucks. Being out of work completely sucks. I feel for all the servers and all those people, because man, no paycheck, no good. So I hope everyone out there is staying safe. Try to stay sane and do what you have to do to get through this tough time. But we will get through. You know, we're a tough country. We've been through a lot of stuff, so this is nothing. As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the new subscribers, and we'll see you real soon on the next one.